So what we have here is just a different way of writing an equation, just like the equations that we had yesterday that look like this, y equals 3x minus 5. These two equations mean the same thing, they just look a little bit different. And the difference is, instead of y, we're replacing the y here with f of x here. Now, it's important that we understand this does not mean f times x. It means f of x. And what that says is we're going to put some x value in to our function. All right? So here's what that looks like when we write it out with our work. In this row, let's fill out this row together, because it's going to be a little bit different the way we write this out. In this row, the first thing we're going to do, instead of writing y equals, we're going to write okay? Yeah, so it's going to be f of x, but we're not going to put x in there. Instead of x, we're going to put the negative 2, yes. So we're going to write this as f of negative 2 equals. So we have f of negative 2 equals, and then we also have to replace this x with negative 2. So we're going to have 3 times negative 2 minus 5. So this part right here, that's exactly the same as we were doing yesterday, right? The only difference is, over here, instead of writing y equals, we have f of negative 2. And what this says, what f of negative 2 tells us, is that we put negative 2 in where the x was. Okay? So it just tells us what we put in there for x. Once we do that, we're going to finish our work just like we normally do. What is 3 times negative 2? Negative 6. So we get negative 6 minus 5, which is negative 11. Okay, now we're going to do one other thing a little bit different. In the next column, instead of just writing the negative 11, we're going to write it out in function notation. So we're going to write f of, what should I put in the parentheses again? Should I put the x there? No, we put the 2 in for x, so we're going to put the negative 2, I'm sorry, we put a negative 2 in for x, so we're going to put that there also, equals negative 11. So we're going to write f of negative 2 equals negative 11. The reason we do this, the reason we write it like this, is it tells us not only what the y value is, that y is negative 11 here, but it also tells us that we got negative 11 for y when x was negative 2. So it tells us the x value and the y value. All right? So remember, f was just replacing y. So when we say f equals negative 11, that means that y equals negative 11. So when we write our ordered pair, what's going to be in there for x? Negative 2 is x, and then y is negative 11, yes. All right, so let's do one more together, and then I'll have you finish the other two on your own. For this one, we're replacing x with 0, so we're going to write f of f of 0 equals, and then we'll put 0 in for x in the equation, so 3 times 0 minus 5. 3 times 0 is 0. So we have 0 minus 5. And 0 minus 5 is negative 5. So again, we're going to write this column a little bit different. We're not just going to put the negative 5 in there, but we're going to say f of 0 equals negative 5. And then our ordered pair is going to be 0, comma, negative 5. So the answers are on the screen there for you. As you finish yours up, check to make sure you got the same thing that I did. Not only for your work, not only for your y value, but be sure that you're writing it out correctly also. Be sure that you're writing f of whatever the value is that we put in for x. So in this case, f of 2 equals 1. And then that tells us that the x value is 2, so we'll put that first in our ordered pair. And the y value is 1, so we put that second in our ordered pair.